Hey guys, it's Blahzaye, and USAID has been hitting every single news headline this week. It's absolutely insane. We have Elon in there with his Doge and big balls that are scrapping all these government programs and trying to make the government lean. Some people don't think that he should be there. Obviously, he's not an elected official. Trump says he trusts him. Not really. But he's there and he's trying to make the government lean, and nobody's going to argue against that. That's what we all want. We just know we don't know if the method of how this is going down is exactly how we want it. However, effects of this have already been trickling down. Some people are concerned about it and some people are making fun of it. Let's get into the videos.
I came to fish my medication here.
This is just one of the sexual health clinics that have been shut down since the USAID funding freeze. This one in the heart of Johannesburg has been catering for women with sexually transmitted diseases like HIV, now completely closed. We've seen people try and enter and be turned away. But given South Africa's history with HIV, with the catastrophe that happened in the early 2000s around the epidemic, this is scaring people in this community who think they might not get access to treatment. Are you trying to go to the clinic?
Yeah.
It's closed.
What happened?
I mean, the USAID funding has been frozen, so they're closing down clinics. Do you have alternatives?
I don't know. I'm going to ask next door. Hopefully they'll be able to assist me. If they can't, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Serious. What will I do? There's nothing.
Yeah, so pretty much before anybody says it, yes, that government should already just be taking care of its own people. Seems to be that people in the other countries also think that about America, so we have to think about that as well. But also, we also need to think about how America utilizes these programs as soft power. This isn't a political channel. We're just going over what we see. But you got to think about that. Are we utilizing our soft power skills effectively by offering these services in other countries? But that was just another way. You know, lady shows up. She's like, hey, I want some services. Americans provide it for me, even though I know my country probably should. And they're like, nope, that's been cut. So tell me what you think about that. Next video.
It's been, what? It's been like 2 weeks? I mean, 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote? In 2 weeks, I went from the highest high to being unemployed. Lost my job last night, got a phone call. The repercussions of what Elon Musk are doing with the USAID has real repercussions for real people. For the last 7 years, I have been a shift lead on Project Bus, where we studied to find out if the wheels on the bus.
Look at his daughter just cracking over there in the back. Oh my God.
Went round around or not. And all of a sudden, Elon, who's not even elected, gets in, and I'm out of a job. What do I tell my family? What do I tell my kids? This isn't a joke. This USAID stuff is not a joke, man. It's affecting real people. And the worst part is, what if we never figure out if in fact the wheels on the bus do go round and round? Does nobody care?
I mean, this guy played this really well. It is funny because it's just the uncovering of a bunch of different programs that are in other countries that don't affect you. So obviously, if it's not in your vicinity, it's easy to make fun of. But the stuff that we have been hearing has been pretty ridiculous. But I'm sure there's other programs that the news isn't bringing to light, and because they're not really releasing all the papers. We have to be biased here. Obviously, as I said before, it's not a political channel or anything. But like nothing is like the full list of things hasn't come out yet. It was on the USAID website, but then they took it down. So just from a facts perspective, but there's also facts perspective that, yeah, we're utilizing soft power in other countries and other places, and people are making fun of it. And I think he did a great job. I think it's funny. You have to have some type of humor, even like when it's the darkest of times, right? And people are actually losing their jobs with the USAID too, by the way. Even if it's the darkest of times, you have to be able to find humor in that. You have to be able to move on and keep it pushing. Tell me what your thoughts are about this guy's rendition. His daughter could not hold it. She shouldn't even been in the shot. You can't hold it. Your dad was a way better actor. Next video.
USAID, and before you judge me, please listen. Imagine you're doing something meaningful.
Hey, and you see that? She had to say, like, hey, guys, before you judge me, like, let me get my words out, because people are just going insane in these comments. Hey, let's take a look real fast. Let me see. So it's like, I am not trying to be silly. I am genuinely asking, why is it USAID and not USAID? I've literally been saying that this whole time. I don't know why the hell it's USAID. Nobody even calls it that. That is it should just be USAID. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, and here's like, these are words and we know them. Soft power. Yeah, so people know soft power. If there's one thing like Rich, like DT and Elon, despite somebody going to poor people instead of them. So these people are definitely being more empathetic, and they are understanding. It's completely two sides. So I don't know, whichever way TikTok pushes is most likely how people are going to sway, or how your algorithm pushes you. Well, there's two sides to it. Put it down in the comments below. I want to see what you guys have to say.
For years, you dedicate your life to it. You risk being subjected to disease outbreaks like Ebola. It's very scary. You get weird shots and take malaria meds that have miserable side effects. All ultimately to ensure these diseases never reach your family in the United States. You see communities and entire countries graduate from poor to digital economies with online businesses that begin trade relations with America that contribute to America's GDP. You befriend the daughter of a poisoned political prisoner fighting for her country. She's your age, but so much older. You're a tiny part of peacekeeping. You risk your life and wear a helmet and flak jacket through bombings that you never come back quite right from. But it's okay, because now we have averted war with that country, and again contributed to trade relations and gained precious resources for our country. You are quietly proud of your work. Your offices are called missions. There is a precious global mission. You have a friendly rivalry with the guys in a neighboring five-pointed building because they're brute force and you're the intellectual bridge builders. You extend the arm before their sword is needed. You train and teach and collect data and monitor and evaluate and keep on top of scary information that could easily become a global crisis. But you're quiet. And when your friends ask you, what is it you do? Neither you nor your colleagues have ever come up with a comprehensive one-word answer like lawyer, dentist, mechanic. But it's okay, because there's a greater mission. No one knows where you work or what you do, even when you tell them. And then one day you wake up and everyone knows your tiny corner. Your budget is the smallest of everyone, less than 1%, the daily coffee versus your mortgage payment. But your quiet self is in the spotlight. Your decades-deep eyewitness to lives changed and economies bolstered, your first-person experience is reduced to criminal, subscriptions, die, condoms, abortions.
Yeah.
And so you're stuck with
Condoms.
one word, grief. We failed. We never could say what we did, so someone with a one-word answer
valid.
did. A way more digestible answer than the real one of millions of children's lives saved, affecting our own economy. Too many words. This is too many words. I'm so sorry we failed at explaining the good, the powerful, the money, for us, as well as the others. I'm so sorry to the lives forever impacted by our failure to communicate. I feel personally responsible for not pushing that bar I knew needed to be pushed in communicating. But this is too many words. And that's the thing that's truly criminal.
No, yeah, she definitely has a point. Because Trump's extremely good at marketing and sound bites and swaying the media like how he wants to sway the media. And I think just the last presidency maybe just wasn't as too effective at that. As I said, once again, it's not a political channel or anything, but being able to say what you're doing, especially if it's like in service to others, and be able to broadcast that for funding is essential. And that's just not what came across. The American people just didn't know what USAID was about until it's too late, and now it's in the crosshairs, and now it's the target of all these sound bites and everything. And it really sucks that if you're actually you are making changes that are affecting the world in a positive note, but nobody knows, and then you get reduced to all the $50 million worth of condoms to Hamas or something like that, and then people don't have enough time to vet it or whatever, and it gets sniped in Congress or whatever. But That's all you got. Throw it down in the comments what you think. This is one of the serious ones now. Like, she was actually on the ground. She was actually doing this stuff. And that stuff, this stuff that needs to take note. And maybe this is something that can be reformed in a way where it's a little bit more transparent, even though I know it was on the government website and they took the page down. But something that's maybe even a little bit more transparent to the people, that like actually goes into the individual programs and then shows what the people are doing. Maybe we need to hire, like even the military has like public affairs people. Maybe we need public affairs for each institution to directly show the people, hey, this is what your tax dollars are being spent on. That would be something that is just bring it to light so more people know what they're spending their tax dollars on. I just think that just makes more common sense. Maybe we should do that, and then you won't be axed on the budget review that happens. Next video. So yeah, she had copyright music. So pretty much she's just saying she's got fired from her job, the USAID job, and her job was researching whether or not pigs can actually fly. Thanks a lot, Elon. It's because when you uncover the stuff, they're finding a bunch of these random programs and stuff that people, if they had a choice, would be like, no, maybe we shouldn't spend that on that. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe I don't think my tax dollars are effective going to these programs. That's what happens when it's just not completely transparent with all of the programs that we're spending money on. That's just what happens. So next video.
Yesterday, 52,000 Americans lost their point of income. Yesterday, the U.S. government dismantled USAID and put people on administrative leave. It's super important that we pay attention to this now. I'm in Washington, D.C. in order to protest this unlawful and illegal dismantling of a U.S. agency, which should be conducted by Congress, but instead is being conducted by an executive order and by people who are not elected or confirmed by the U.S. Congress. Please follow along. Please care. So many people are losing access to global aid, and I just can't even describe. There are people who are American citizens who are locked in foreign countries right now without income and without resources just because they care about this work. So please follow along.
Yeah, guys. So that was it. Let me know what you think. It's pretty decisive times going right now. Government's getting shaken up. We're trying to make everything, and nobody can disagree that we want the government to be more efficient, but the means are contentious at this time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.